Tuesday, we were talking about the present value formula, and we were having a look at sort of some of the more basic calculations. And then sort of towards the end of the lesson, someone, I can't remember who, asked me to please do some questions where you had to calculate, like, let's say, the interest in the first year of a loan or whatever the case was. All right, so I've actually not changed my lesson. I mean, I was going to do that with you anyway, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do that first, and then I'm going to come back to some of the more sort of difficult calculations that we can get with present value towards the end. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go straight to outstanding balance. All right, and I think it's important that we do that because that would be you. Okay, so Kamgelo. Perfect. Okay, I'm glad now you reminded me, Kamgelo. I remember it was you. Okay, so I'm very pleased that you asked about that, Kamgelo, because outstanding balance is always asked. Always, 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 always asked. Okay, so it is an important thing for us to go and cover. So let's go down and go and have a look at that first. Okay, so when we are talking about the outstanding balance on a loan, what do the words outstanding balance mean? The outstanding balance on a loan, what does it mean in English if we had to describe it to someone who wasn't doing financial maths or who didn't do maths? How would we describe what outstanding balance means? Can anyone tell me? There we go. Lihlu, lovely, beautiful explanation. The money you still owe. Okay, so it's the money you still owe on a loan. You still owe on a loan. Okay, so that's the outstanding balance. All right, so it's the money that is still owed on a loan. All right, so it is calculated as the difference between the value of the loan and the future value of the payments, or we can use present value to calculate the amount of money that we still owe, all right, as a present value annuity. All right, when we are working with present value, now that's what I have here on the left. So there's two ways outstanding balance can be calculated. If you do it the first way, which is using the present value formula, N has to be the number of payments that still need to be made. This is very important. I hope you guys are taking screenshots. Okay. So if you use the present value formula to calculate the balance outstanding, it is the number of payments that still need to be made. That makes sense to us. If we understand the present value formula, then that makes sense to us that it would be the number of payments that still need to be made. Or our preferred method of calculating outstanding balance is to use this. Okay, so the second method here, outstanding balance, is A minus future value. So A is the value of our loan minus the future value of our payments. This is the future value of our payments. Okay, now N here needs to be the same. So it's got to be the same in both. N represents the number of payments that have already been made. Okay, so if we calculate it the second way, using A minus future value, then N represents the number of payments that have already taken place, right? Now, the reason that method number 2 is preferred is because it will work in every single situation. The one on the left also works in most situations, but if they were to give you a question where you did not know the duration of the loan, then you may not be able to work out the number of payments that still needed to be made. You will always know the number of payments that have been made. So that's why the method on the right is preferred to the method on the left. Sometimes you will see whether you use present value or you use the other method, you will get exactly the same answer. Sometimes the answers differ by a few cents. Okay, and your teachers will mark that correct, even though it's different by a few cents, if that's what happens. Okay, are there any questions before we move on? We've all heard this before. Our teachers at school have told us this. Lihlu, yes. You're welcome to ask Lihlu. You're welcome to unmute and ask a question if you want to, Lihlu. Okay, so Sisipo, you haven't done finance, okay. Explain A minus future value. All right, I'll do that again. Zwanaka.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Zwanaka, how are you?
Good, thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, so just to verify, so the formula for outstanding balance is the one to the left of the screen, or is it the one to the right?
Yes, so there's two ways, Zwanaka. Okay, there's two ways that you can calculate outstanding balance. All right, so either you can do it as a present value calculation, or you can do it using A minus future value. Okay, there's two ways that outstanding balance can be calculated. That's what I'm saying, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, that's fine, and we're going to go and talk a little bit more about that. Kamgelo, your hands up.
Ma'am, it's answered. Thank you.
Okay, all right, no problem, no problem. Okay, so Sisipo, you might be a little bit confused as to what's going on now if you haven't done financial maths yet. But let's just see if doing an example here helps you. Okay, so we're not doing this for part A, but we need part A in order to be able to do part B. Sandy takes out a loan of 120,000 Rand for home improvements. The loan is taken over 4 years at an interest rate of 12% per annum compounded monthly. Calculate the monthly payments if the first payment is made 1 month after the loan was granted. So nothing unusual there, straightforward calculation. Let's go ahead and go and do that. All right, so in part A, her monthly repayment means we need to calculate the value of X. It's a loan. So straight away, we know we have to use the present value formula. So that's what I'm subbing into. 1 plus interest rate is 12% per annum, compounded monthly. And now we just need to work out how many payments Sandy would make. Okay, so she's making payments one per month, monthly payments, all right, over a period of 4 years. Okay, so 4 times 12 would be 48. So she would make 48 payments of X Rand. Okay, over 0.12 over 12. So this is easy for us to be able to work out X. Let's just do that quickly. You guys can share with me what you're getting for X as well. Okay. I'm calculating. See if it's the same as you guys. Yes, Nolatundo, me too. Okay, 3160, comma 06. All right, so that's what Sandy's monthly installment, her equal monthly payment is going to be. Now let's have a look at part B. All right. In part B, they ask us to calculate the outstanding balance after the 20th payment has been made. Now, look at the question. Does it tell you how long she's taken this loan for? Does it tell you that she's taken a loan for 20 years? No. Does it tell us she's taken, oh, sorry, so it tells us 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, sorry, 4 years. Okay. So it tells us over here 4 years, beg your pardon. Right, sorry, I just needed to read that again. So we can use either one of our two formulae. Okay, either we can use present value or we can use A minus future value. Hopefully then when I explain the A minus future value, that'll make a little bit more sense. Okay, if we use the present value formula, I'm going to do it both ways for you guys. All right, we can calculate the outstanding balance as a present value. Okay, how much Sandy still owes the bank. Okay, so she is paying 3160.06 per month. 1 minus 1 plus her interest rate is 12%, 0.12 divided by 12. Now remember, it is the present value, okay, of how many payments are still remaining. Okay, so she makes 48 payments in total. If we want to calculate her balance outstanding after the 20th payment, how many payments still need to be made? How many payments does she still need to make? Matrix? How many payments does she still need to make? There we go, 28. Good. So when I'm working with the present value formula here, I'm going to write minus 28 because that's how many payments she still needs to make. Okay, over 0.12 over 12. Let's work out what the answer is. Again, you guys can share your answers. Yes, Sisipo, you did get a different answer. I'm not sure what you did there, Sisipo. We were trying to work out the value of X, her monthly payment. Oh, okay. Did you figure it out? Okay. Okay, I'm going to see. I'm going to explain it in two different ways. All right. So here we've got 76,000. Let's write that properly. 841 Rand and 42 cents. Okay, so that's how much she still owes. All right, on her loan. Okay. The other way that we could calculate this is to use, or the other way we can do this, we can calculate our outstanding balance. So this P here, this is your outstanding balance. It's the same thing. Okay, our outstanding balance is A minus the future value of our payments. All right, so now A represents the value of the loan. That was 120,000 Rand. Okay, our interest rate is 12% per annum, compounded monthly. And now it is the number of payments that have already been made. How many payments has she made? If we want to calculate the outstanding balance after the 20th payment, there are 20 payments. That's it. There are 20 payments that have been made. So our exponent here is 20 minus the future value of our payments. All right, so now I'm just going to scooch over a little bit here. I wish we could fit so much more onto the screen than we can. Okay, so now I'm subbing into future value formula. Okay, so our monthly payment, we know from part A, was 3160.06. Okay, 1 plus 0.12 over 12, 20 payments minus 1 over 0.12 over 12. Okay, now we're going to work out the answer to this. So it is a different method. Okay, Miss Cindy. Okay, was that still the previous question, Miss Cindy? Let's see if the answer is exactly the same. Okay, so try and see if you are getting the same answer, everybody. Or an answer that is very similar, maybe just different by a few cents. It's exactly the same. In this case, it is exactly the same. 76,841 Rand and 43 cents. Okay, so let's just go back and speak about what we have learned this lesson so far. Okay, either we can calculate our outstanding balance as a present value. It is the present value of the number of or the payments that still need to take place, all right, in order to pay off the loan. Or else it's the value of the loan, okay, to a certain point minus the future value of payments to that same point. Yes, Penga, but the answers are only different by a few cents. Katleho, you said you don't understand? Okay, because when you use the present value formula, N has to be the number of payments that still need to be made. Katleho, if you are using method number 2, it is the number of payments that have already been made. Okay, so that's why our N is different in the first calculation to the second calculation, even though our answers are the same. Okay, so here with present value, this over here is the number of payments that still need to be made. Number of payments that still need to be made. This over here is the number of payments that have been made. Okay, Katleho, I see your hands up. Well, you got the 20 from here, Kamchelo.
You can unmute and ask. You have to unmute on your side. Oh, where's Katleho's hand gone?
Don't know. But it does say Katleho. You see it now. Okay. Katleho, but they didn't say compounded monthly. They did. Right here. Look here. It says compounded monthly right here. Okay, so that's how you calculate a balance outstanding. Okay. All right, Katleho. Okay. So how do we feel so far, everybody? Are we okay? Can I move on to the... No problem, Katleho. It's a pleasure. Can I move on to the slightly more difficult thing now? More grade 12 stuff, Lesejo. Okay, so mind you, I say more, you know, you might find that because financial maths is only 15 marks. It's only 15 marks. So you might find the first 5 marks will be the grade 11 stuff and the other 10 will be grade 12 stuff. Okay. All right. So everybody's saying I can move on to the more difficult questions. All right. So here is an example of something that you would see in an exam. Okay, this is an exam question. And Kamgelo, there's the question that you wanted. All right, calculate the amount of interest that Thabo will have paid. This is supposed to be a B here over the first 21 years of the loan. So that's actually why we're doing this question. Okay, but the whole thing is part of the same question. So can you see here's the six marks? Okay, all on matric stuff. So the other 9 marks presumably would have been a mixture of matric and grade 11 stuff. Okay, so let's read this question carefully. Thabo wants to save 450,000 Rand as a deposit to buy a house on the 30th of June, 2018. Okay. He deposited, so in 8.3.1, he deposited a fixed amount of money at the end of every month into an account earning interest of 8.35% per annum compounded monthly. His first deposit was made on the 31st of July, 2013, and his 60th deposit on the 30th of June, 2018. Calculate the amount he deposited monthly. Okay, so now, first questions first. What formula are we going to use for 8.3.1 matrix? What formula? Aha, future value. Good, because he's trying to save money, isn't he? He's trying to save money. So we're going to use future value to calculate the amount he deposited monthly. What do they want us to calculate in the future value formula? The value of what? What do they want? That's it. They want us to calculate the X. Okay, so fairly straightforward. Guys, work out what the X is. And again, DM me. Let's just see how you guys go with that. Good, well done. Okay, you've got it. Work out the X. Tsegofatso, that's why they use CA marks. Okay, so that if you did calculate your X incorrectly because maybe your exponent was wrong, you're not going to lose all your marks when it gets carried through. Okay, that's exactly why we use CA marking. Okay, that's the good news. So you guys are working out the X. I'm working slowly behind you. And then please DM me your answers for X, and then we'll move on and we'll look at the next bit. Okay, first answer coming in. Nolutando. Yes, I got the same one. Mosey, good, well done. Same answer. Nice, well done. Other people? Waiting for answers to come through? Okay. Pinga, something's gone wrong there. Sihle, good. Well done. Sihle's got it. Don't know, maybe your end value was wrong, Pinga. So 3 correct answers so far. Chrissy, something's gone wrong, my darling. Yes, Mbalentle, good. Mbalentle, we just out by like a few cents there. I don't know why. Lichlu, good. Good, Lichlu. Masindi, perfect. Zoom user, good. Kamchelo, no. No. Something's gone wrong, Kamchelo. Not sure what. Kamachelo, what is your N value? How many payments are you saying? Okay, yes, Amatle, good question. What is N equal to? Vuyo, we're just out a little bit there on our cents. I'm not sure why. So how we good? Okay, so it's 5 years, guys. From the 31st of July 2013 to the 30th of June 2018 is 5 years. Okay, so if you pay an amount of money at the end of every month, okay, Kamachelo, then there would be 60 payments. Okay, 60 payments of X. Okay, so we should all be calculating that X was 6068,69. Okay, you missed -1. Okay, you forgot. Yeah. Oh, shame, Pinga. Okay, at least you found your mistake. No Voloshin. Something's gone wrong there.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Kamachelo.
I also
What's
missed
up?
the -1.
Oh, you missed the -1 there. Okay. Pinga did the same thing. Okay, so just be very careful. Sorry, my mistake. All right, because I didn't put the formula up here for you guys. Okay, you would obviously be able to refer to it, but remember you've got your -1 in your formula. Okay. Oh, Chrissy, it was you. Okay. All right, Chrissy. Okay, but at least now you know where you went wrong. Okay, it's just a case of copying the formula down wrong. Okay, not because you actually didn't understand what you were doing. Okay, so we can see here there's 3 marks. All right, so they would definitely give us a mark for the correct formula. Okay, maybe they would give us either a mark on the interest rate or on the number of payments, and then on our answer over there. Okay, so that's out of 3. Let's do the next part. Wrong interest rate. Okay, Voloshin, never mind, not a big deal. Okay, so now we're going to do 8.3.2 matrix. So after saving for his deposit, okay, Tabo now goes ahead and he goes and buys the house. Okay, in 8.3.2, he buys a house that costs 1,500,000 and he used his savings as a deposit. He obtains a home loan for the balance of the purchase price at an interest rate of 12% per annum compounded monthly over 25 years. He makes his first monthly installment of 11,058 Rand and 85 cents towards the loan on the 31st of July 2018. Can you see they go straight to an outstanding balance question? Okay, what will the outstanding balance on the loan be on the 30th of June 2039, which is 21 years after the loan is granted? Okay, you got the right in now, Matle. All right. So they go straight to a question on outstanding balance. All right. So again, because we know that his loan is taking place over 25 years, we can work out how many payments he still needs to make, which means we can calculate our outstanding balance using the present value formula in this case as well, right? So if we use the present value formula, payments that still need to be made, okay? So he is paying 11,058 Rand and 85 cents a month. His interest rate is 12% per annum, compounded monthly. How many payments will he still need to make? Okay. That's what we need to work out now, all right? Remember, he made his first payment on the 31st of July, 2018. All right, he's taken the loan for 25 years. Can anybody tell me how many payments still need to be made if we want to calculate his outstanding balance on the 30th of June, 2039? Okay, so one person has sent me the correct answer so far. Nolutando, it's only you that sent me the right answer. Everybody else is misunderstanding the question. Pinga, Mozi, you understand the question as well. Mozi and Nolutando, you go ahead and go and work out the answer. Don't DM, well, you can DM me, but don't share your answer with everybody. Let's have a look. Someone else said it. Let's see. Tobekile, you understand. Jude, you understand. Okay, everybody else is still struggling to understand this, but you guys are sending me the right answer. Okay, so we're going to talk about this a little bit before. Pinga, does the question imply that he used the 450 to pay? So it implies that he used the 450,000 Rand as a deposit. Okay, and yes, so we would have said 1,000. So his loan would have been calculated on 1,500 minus the 450,000. Okay, but they're not asking us to calculate that. No, Katleho, Lihlu, that is correct. Okay, so let's see if we can work out how many months are still remaining. Okay, let's think about this carefully, right? If you have taken a loan for 25 years, all right, and you've been paying it off for 21 years, how many years do you still need to pay off? You've paid off 21 years, you've paid off. 25 years will finish the loan. How many years? Yes, Jude. Good. Good. Yes, exactly. Voloshan, yes, that's the answer I got too. Exactly, Chrissy. All right. So if you are paying once a month for the remaining 4 years, how many payments is that? Because remember, he's paying monthly. So he still has another 4 years to pay off his loan. If he pays once a month, exactly, it's 48. Quite right. Okay, so this will be minus 48. Okay, because he still has to pay another 4 years worth of payments to pay off his loan. Okay, he's paying once a month for another 4 years. That is another 48 payments. Good. But Katleho, think about it. All right. From the end of June to the beginning of July. All right. So if I start on the 30th of June this year and I finish on the 30th of June next year, how many months is that? It's 13 months, not 12. Okay. So it's not 49. It's 48. Yes, Mozi, that's correct. Katleho, go for it. What's your question?
Ma'am, the question actually says that it was the 31st of July, ma'am, and his last payment was in June. So,
Yes,
ma'am, let's say if
exactly.
it was just a year, it would have been 11 months, not 13, because it's July to June, not June to July.
Okay, but hang on a second. All right. He makes his first payment at the end of July. Then they've said to here, what will the outstanding balance be at the end of June? Okay, so if we went from July to July, that would be 13. Okay, but from the end of July in the 1 year to the end of the June in 2039, there's not an extra month. Okay, there's still only 12 months in that last year. Okay, it's not 49 payments. It's 48. Okay. All right, so think about it now. If I start paying something in August this year and I make another payment in August again next year, I'm going to pay August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, so that would be 13. Okay, if I stop paying in July, then it's 12. Okay. Okay. Kamachelo, are you using the same formula for us, the present value formula? You shouldn't be getting a different answer. If you're putting in exactly what we've got here in 8.3.2. Now, the other way that you could do this, all right, is to use outstanding balance. Okay, so I'll just quickly show you how we would do it using, this is outstanding balance, using A minus future value. It's a little bit longer, but it is actually the preferred way of doing things. Okay, so if we wanted to do it this way, it would be our loan of 1050000. So Pinga, this is where you were asking how much money he would yes, so we would have to subtract the 450,000 from the 1500. All right. 1 plus, and then it would be our interest rate. Okay, and now he has paid 12 months a year for 21 years. So this would be 12 times 21 would be our exponent. Okay, this is actually a much longer way of doing things. Why we would actually want to do it this way for this particular question, I don't know, but anyway, if we did, we would still get our marks. Okay, so 11058,85 is our payment. This is our future value. 0.12 over 12. Let's just go down a little bit. All right, I know you guys are typing in the chat. I'm going to look now. And if we did it this way, we end up with okay, so just as an alternative way of doing it, we can do it in what I've done in the green here. Okay, so tsegofatso, it's like what that's fine. Yes, Pinga, we would be. All of that's the one that we get taught at school. All right. So yes, where's the 105 coming from? Quite right, Lissetti. He used the deposits. Okay. So remember, the house cost 1.5. He paid a deposit of 450,000 Rand. Remember, so his loan is not 1,005. It's not 1.5 million. It's 1,050,000. Okay, Tsegofatso? Okay, so screenshots, everyone. That's an alternative way of doing it. Okay, your teachers should show you both at school. Okay, they should show you the pink way and they should also show you the green way. In fact, they should tell you exactly the same things that I have. The green method will always work. The pink method will only work if you know how many payments still need to be made. Okay, so make sure you know how to do it the green way. All right. All right. Now, Kamogelo, the whole reason we're doing this question, now we get here, all right, to part B. Calculate the interest Thabo will have paid over the first 21 years of the loan. So now they are asking us, all right, for the amount of interest that Thabo will have paid. So remember, when you take a loan, not only are you paying back the money that you borrowed, you are paying back the interest on top of that. All right, so we want to work out how much interest Thabo will have paid in the first 21 years of the loan. So the way that we calculate the amount of interest that has been paid on a loan is it is the difference between how much has been paid to date and how much of the loan has been settled. The difference between those two values is our interest. Okay, so I'm going to set it out for you like this. Okay, if they ask you to calculate interest paid, this is what you have to do. Number one, you have to work out how much of the loan has been settled. Okay, so your settled amount, how much of the loan is paid off. You do that by taking the loan and subtracting your outstanding balance. Okay, so the settled amount is how much of the loan is already paid off. Remember, outstanding balance is how much we still owe. All right. After we have calculated our settled amount, we need to calculate how much money has been paid to the bank. Okay, so how much has been paid? So this will be the monthly installment, the X value, multiplied by the number of months. All right. The interest that has been paid is the difference between these two. Okay, Kamogelo, it's number 2 minus number 1. Okay, so the interest paid is the difference between how much has been paid to date. And the amount of the loan that has been settled. Okay, often comes up as a question. Okay, so in the case of this example over here, remember our loan or his loan, okay, is 105,000. That's how much money he borrowed. Does that make sense to everybody? The 1.5 million minus his 450,000. Everybody happy with that? Yes, minus the outstanding balance. Okay, so that's what we've calculated here in pink. Okay, that was our outstanding balance, that 419,948.32. Okay, so we're going to subtract that. 419,948.32. And this gives us an amount of 630,051.68. Okay, so he borrows 105,000. After 21 years, he's paid off 419,948.32. Okay. Oh, sorry, he still owes 419,948.32 at 21 years. He has paid off 630,051 rand and 68 cents of his loan. That's how much he's paid. That's his settled amount. If we calculate how much money poor Thabo has paid, right, what we would do is, remember, he's paying 11,058 rand and 85 cents a month. Okay, that's how much he's paying towards the loan. And if he's been paying that over a period of 21 years, then it means that he has paid this 252 times. That's 21 times 12. Okay, Mbalenhle, this is how much money he's borrowed. Remember the house cost 1.5 million. Okay, he bought the house for 1.5 million, but he put down a deposit of 450,000. So his loan was that minus the 450,000. That's where the 1050 comes from. Okay. So in reality, actually, look how much money he's paid to this bank. 2,786,830 rand and 20 cents. Thabo is bleeding, people. Okay, Tabo's not like Mpho that we were learning about the other day that's got 62 million sitting in the bank. Thabo is crying because he has bought a house essentially for just over 1 million, and after 21 years, this poor guy has paid back almost 3 million rand to the
He's
bank.
bleeding. He's really
Hey,
bleeding in his
he's
pocket.
bleeding. The banks are laughing and smiling. Absa's happy, Standard Bank's happy, but Thabo is crying. Okay.
Yeah.
Even
Uh,
after saving 450,000 rand. Hey, total scam. Total
yeah,
scam,
definitely.
guys. This is what the banks are doing to us, guys. It is
Oh, God.
terrible, terrible. Exactly. You got to go and own the bank one day, Tsegofatso. It is, Pinga. Everybody that's paying off a home loan, this is what's happening to them. Okay, you borrow just over $1 million and you haven't even finished paying the loan back, and it's almost 3 times how much you actually borrowed. Okay, we nearly there. Okay, we're crying for Tabo as we go along the way, but we're nearly there. Okay, so now the interest. This is now Tabo. If Tabo's not half dead by now, when we when poor Tabo finds out how much of this is actually interest, he truly is going to be absolutely finished. Okay, so the amount of interest that Tabo has paid, the interest that he has paid is now going to be the difference between this one, number 2, his total payments to date, this 2,786,830 rand and 20 cents, minus how much of his loan he's actually settled. Okay, so that's 630,051,68. The rest of this is interest, guys. This is what the bank has made off of Tabo. A whopping 2,156,778 rand and 52 cents. There we go, Kamgelo. Okay. So this is the idea, Kamagelo and everybody else. All right, when you want to calculate however many years of interest or whatever it is, you first have to calculate how much of the loan has been paid off. That is your settled amount. So it's your loan minus your outstanding balance. Then you're going to work out how much has been paid by multiplying the monthly installment by the number of months you've been paying for. And then you're going to take number 2 and minus number 1, and that's how much interest there is. Okay, Kamugelo? Yeah, they do. They do, Tsehovat. So that's what they actually calculate. Yeah, they do. So you can imagine their calculations must be far more difficult and complicated than what we've done here. All right. Okay, so if they do ask you to calculate how much interest is paid in a loan, this is the way that it's done. Okay, how do you guys feel? Kamugelo, are you happy? They're making sense to you? How's everybody else? Everyone's quiet. Are you guys okay? Yes, okay. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Kamugelo. Oh, good, Lulu. Yeah, no, it's Kamugelo, you're welcome to talk. Good, Pinga. Unfortunately, not a mahle. This is the easiest way to do it, or the only way that you can actually do it, to be honest. Okay, sorry, Kamugelo, go for it.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Kamugelo.
So, the thing that confused me is they say like calculate the total amount of interest. So when they say calculate the total amount of interest, they're not referring to the percentage, right? Like the interest rate.
No. I mean, I suppose they could ask you to express that as a percentage, but I mean, that would just be an extra level of meanness, which I hope that they wouldn't do to you. Okay, so yeah, what percentage of? No, I don't think they would do that. Okay,
Yeah,
but no problem. But if they're going to ask you how much interest has been paid, it will always be connected to a question on outstanding balance. So they'll have to do what they've done here, where they've got you to calculate outstanding balance and then said to you, okay, well, if you've calculated the outstanding balance after 5 years or 10 years, then you'd have to calculate the amount of interest that was paid in those 5 years or those 10 years. All right, they would always link the two together. Yes, now, Mbalenhle, everybody towards the end of the year, I don't think you get it in grade 11, but I don't know if you guys have seen these books. They're called the Just in Time Do you know what I'm talking about? The just-in-time books that the Department of Education makes and distributes. Have you guys seen those? Maybe you've got cousins or brothers and sisters or whatever it is. You've never seen it. It's called Just-in-Time. Really, guys, you've never seen those? No, it's not. No, it's not a blue book. It's actually a white book, Pinga. So you'll see your school will be given these by the Department of Education, and it's actually covered very, very nicely in there with a few more examples to practice. But go and have a look. If you go and have a scratch around on the NSC website, you'll see where they've asked questions like this in the past. So go and have a look, practice that. You know, hopefully you've made notes on this today, and then go and see if you can get the right answer. At least there the memos are online as well. Okay. Yes, Wanaka. And so obviously this formula is not given to you. So the outstanding balance, the method and the way of calculating outstanding balance, that is also, so outstanding balance is A minus future values, not on your formula sheet. How you calculate the amount of interest that's been paid in a loan, not on your formula sheet. Okay, so these are methods that you need to learn and know before going into your trials exams. Okay. Okay, so it's called just in time. Lesego, you've got to start with the easy things first. It's called just in time. Okay, and it's a department issued book. Okay, they should send them to your school. Just in time. Okay. Always start with Lesego. What you must do for every section in maths is you have to start off by learning the rules. Then you have to practice the basic calculations. So how to calculate present value, how to calculate future value, how to calculate the monthly installment X, how to calculate N, the number of payments using logs. And then you've got to go and practice the more difficult questions. Okay. So, yes, they've got every section on them. Yeah, so your teachers should be teaching you the rules of each section as we go along, just like I have now. So in other words, like when I say to you present value formula, there has to be a gap of 1 period. That's a rule, essentially, okay, on how to use the present value formula.